Good day, everyone. So before we proceed to our discussion, let us pray first. I'm Andrea Zumarraga, your discussant today together with Miss Kimberly Fuentebella and Luneza Protacio. So for our activity, the class will be divided into 4 groups. Each member will answer the question that will be shown on the screen. Each question has a possible answer with the jumbled letters. All you have to do is to arrange it. If the letter is color gray, means they are in the wrong position, and when its color changes, it means they are in the right position. The first group to finish all the question will be declared the winner. So here's our objectives. At the end of the discussion, the students are able to first identify the meaning and advantage of reflective practice using learning attainment data. Second, differentiate the various types of non-test data, reflect on the advantages and disadvantages of non-test data, and create a video presentation showing the non-test data. Good day, everyone. I am Andrea Zumarraga, and I will be the discussant about the reflective practice using learning attainment data. But before that, let me introduce or define what is assessment of one's teaching practices. Assessment is an integral part of instruction as it determines whether or not the goals of education are being met. Good teaching practice is a key influence of student learning, a desired outcome and primary goal of higher educational institution. So we all know that assessment is very important in teaching because dito natin makikita or madidetermine kung yung layunin ba natin in terms of education ay natutugunan ba o hindi. Kaya naman pinagsisikapan talaga ng mga guro na may-meet yung principles of good practice para sa kanilang mga mag-aaral. Whether teaching at the undergraduate or the level graduate, it is important for instructors to strategically evaluate the effectiveness of their teaching by measuring the extent to which students in the classroom are learning the course material. So the primary purpose of assessing teaching practice is personal and professional growth that leads to improved performance. The principals or other evaluator act as a facilitator of each teacher. At syempre, yung teacher naman ang nagsiserve as a facilitator for a student in the classroom. So now, let's proceed to the reflective practice using learning attainment data. So what is reflective practice? Reflective practice is, in the simplest form, thinking about or reflecting on what you do. So ito pala yung pinakamadaling anyo ng pag-iisip o yung pagpipicture mo sa iyong ginagawa. Also, it is closely linked to the concept of learning experience that you think about kung paano mo iyon ginawa or kung ano yung nangyari. Or yung pagpapasyo mo mula doon sa ginawa kung ano ang iyong gagawin na naman sa iba pang pagkakataon. And what is the advantage of reflective practice? Reflective practice provides a mean for a teacher to improve their practice or to effectively meet the learning needs of their student. So first is it helps teacher to take informed action that can be justified and explained so the others and that can be used to guide further action. So yung reflective practice pala ay nakakatulong siya sa mga guro upang gumawa ng mga matatalinong action na maaaring makatwiran or maipaliwanag sa iba at maaaring magamit upang gabayan ang kalagdagang aksyon. The second is, it allows teacher to adjust and respond to issues. So nagbibigay daan din pala ito sa mga guro upang matugunan sila or upang makasabay sa mga issue na nangyayari. Also, it helps teacher to become aware of their underlying beliefs and assumption about learning and teaching. So nakakatulong din pala ito sa mga guro upang magkaroon ng kamalayan sa kanilang paniniwala at assumption tungkol sa pag-aaral at sa kanilang pagtuturo. And what is learning attainment data? It is about evidence and result of various assessment that are used in monitoring and evaluation of learning progress and achievement. So in reflective practice, using learning attainment data, allows teacher to identify the strength and weaknesses of an entire class as well as individual student. As they examine the data, teacher can develop hypotheses about factors that affect student learning and ways to improve instruction to help all students achieve. And the benefit of reflective practice is the ability to reflect in one's action so as to engage in a process of continuous learning.
Good day everyone, my name is Luneza, Protacio, and I'll be the one to discuss the learner's test score. So what is a test score? A test score is a piece of information, usually a number, that conveys the performance of an examinee on a test. So when we say test score, it is the result of a formative assessment at natutulungan tayo nito to assess the effectiveness of our teaching and also to identify if the instruction we use is working or not. Let's proceed to the next. A norm reference interpretation means that the score conveys meaning about the examinee with regards to their standing among other examinees. So, ibig sabihin, we are comparing the students' scores. We determine their standing based on the score they got, and ibig sabihin, kapag, kunwari, si student A is 88 yung nakuha niya, and then, i-compare natin siya to the whole class or to the norm group para ma-determine natin kung ano yung standing niya sa buong group. Another is the criterion reference interpretation, means that the score conveys information about the examinee with regards to specific subject matter regardless of other examinee scores. So compared to the norm reference interpretation, sa criterion reference naman is dinedisregard natin yung test scores ng other student, but rather nakapokus siya sa student's progress, kung ano lang ba yung natutunan ng isang bata, ano-ano ba yung skills na na-acquire niya, ano ba yung knowledge na nakuha niya. Let's proceed to the two types of test score. Number one is the raw score. A raw score is a score without any sort of adjustment or transformation, such as a simple number or of question answered correctly. So, ibig sabihin, yung raw score is the number of correct answer ng isang student. Kunwari is yung test is up to 50, then ang nakuhang tamang sagot nung student is 30, then ang raw score niya is 30. The second type of test score is the scaled score. A scaled score is the result of some transformation applied to the raw score, such as relative grading. So, scaled score takes account to the raw score. So, as the number of correct answer achieved by the students on the test or in the assessment, as well as the difficulty of the question that the students receive on each test are interconnected. So, as the scaled score increase, not only as the students answer more questions correctly, but also as the test content became more difficult. So, we can use the scaled score to monitor the students' performance as they grow from demonstrating easier tasks to completing harder ones. So, we can see their growth, especially when they do some complex tasks. How test scores are used. Schools and parents use the information gleaned from these test scores to see how the students perform and if any adjustment are needed. So we need to evaluate to be able to give feedback to them, to know if there are areas that they need to improve and what are the areas are their strength, and we evaluate to assess their knowledge, their skills, and their abilities, and also for monitoring their progress.
Good day everyone! For anything else, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Kimberly A. Fuentebella from Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Filipino, and I will be discussing the learner's non-test data and other information. Now, let's first define what is a non-test data. When we say a non-test data, it is an instrument that doesn't involve a test. It can be a further to learning of students or the learners. So basically, this focuses on learner. It's about the classroom assessment activities and learning experiences. It doesn't involve a test since it's about how the students acquire knowledge by doing things they want. We should not focus on the result of the students. Instead, gumawa tayo ng way ng pagkakatuto na kung saan walang pressure in comparing na mangyayari sa bawat student. As teacher, we should know how to give them knowledge while enjoying the moment. Another definition is a non-test is often an alternate assessment. Teachers assess the learning to grasp how well they understand and determine the topic or the lesson. Ibig sabihin, ang pagbibigay ng non-test assessment ay dapat alternate, salitan. We have different type of non-test that will be discussed later on. That's why we should not focus on one aspect, but let them experience the different assessment para rin malaman nila ang kanilang strength and weaknesses sa pamamagitan ng iba't ibang activities. According to Reganet et al. 2010, these tests do not force the students to give their responses, rather allow the students to manifest their acquired knowledge and skills from the subject. So this means that non-test assessment allow the students on how they will learn based on their own understanding, and it doesn't force the student to answer since it's their skills and knowledge that matters. Now that you already know the definition of non-test data, let's proceed to the different type of non-test data. The first non-test data is homework, wherein it is a practice exercise that usually plays part of grading system. Sometimes it's reading, research, and other homework that covers the topic or a lesson. And it might be used for more hands-on practical work. One of the non-test data is homework, wherein it is done at home. So, ibig sabihin, ang homework ay ibinibigay sa students upang mapaghandaan ang isang topic or lesson in the next day. Halimbawa, sinabi ng teacher na for tomorrow's session, your homework is to create a short story that will present it in front of your classmates. So, ibig sabihin, meron ka na dapat nakahandang short story pagpasok mo kinabukasan. Another non-test data is the project. This is usually designed for students to use their skills and develop their creativity. Projects are given early for the completion. So one of the major requirements before the end of the quarter is the project, wherein students can use their talents and skills to create a product or something that is new. Sinasabi na lahat daw ng students ay may iba't ibang talento at kakayahan at dapat lamang na matulungan natin silang mailabas sa kung ano ang mayroong talento nila. So it is amazing how they created their new invention and show it in the class. Next is the portfolio. These are the collection of projects and given activities to students. It exhibits the effort, the achievements, and their progress. So portfolios are the collection of all the data of students, all the things they accomplished before the end of the semester or quarter. So maaari itong gawin sa dalawang pamamaraan. Ang una ay ang e-portfolio or electronic portfolio, wherein all the progress of students is written through a website in the internet. Maaari itong mabasa ng kahit sinong bibigyan natin ng link ng ginawang e-portfolio. Ang ikalawa naman na paraan ay ang traditional portfolio, wherein students need to write or print out all the data that they accomplish at saka naman ito pagsasama-samahin ang mga information to create a portfolio. Another non-test data is the debate. These are the activity that features two opposing views about some issues and defend their side or position. So when two opposing team is exchanging their views or perspective about one topic, it is called a debate. Isa sa pinagagawa sa students, especially when it is about societal issues or concern, ang debate. So dito binibigyan ng topic ang dalawang panig and they try to defend what their chosen topic. So, but we should always know the limit and to avoid unnecessary word in stating our opinion. The next one is the demonstration. It is a visual enactment of selected lessons and activity. In this assessment, students will be able to present a specific topic in the class in which they are acted like a teacher discussing in front and asking a question. So it can be also in a form of activity na kung saan students will show or demonstrate their work or product need. So as future teacher naman, demonstration is part of our everyday life. So it trains us how to compose ourselves in discussing the lesson in front of our students. The next one is the games. This engages the scholar to enjoy their activities with learning and review their topics or lesson. So this is usually done during the motivational activities wherein students engage in different games that is connected to the lesson. So one of the example of this is the snake and ladder, wherein the students need to answer a specific question, and if their answer is correct, they have the opportunity to roll the dice until they go to the finish line. So in that way, di lang natututo ang ating mga students, but they enjoy the learning because of the games that we prepared. Next is oral and written reports. Teachers assign some topic to students and report it in oral or in written format. So this will develop students' self-esteem talking in front of their classmates. Way back our high school, our teacher assigned a topic for us to report it either by group or by individual, and all have the opportunity to go in front and discuss the topic orally. So maaari din namang through written, wherein the assigned topic will be in a written form like essay and many others. Next is the rating scale. It can allow the teacher to point and record the degree of frequency of the behaviors, performances, and skills displayed by the learners. So we use rating scale to record the students' overall performances in a specific topic. So maraming pamamaraan on how we rate our students. So maaaring through numerical rating scale wherein we use numbers instead of words. Pwede rin namang descriptive rating scale. So dito naman, there are choices operating in the statement at pwede rin namang gamitin ang comparative rating scale. From the word itself, we are comparing one aspect to another. The next one is the cartooning. These are activities draws about the important situations, issues, and ideas. So in this way, this will help the students on how they perceive one situation, issue, and idea sa pamamagitan ng pagguhit. Sometimes their imagination is very true to what is happening to our surroundings. So dito natin makikita ang kanilang talento sa pagguhit at kung paano nila naiintindihan ang isang sitwasyon. The next non-test data is the notes. The students should write on lesson for them to possess some notes to read. So this is very old way, yet very helpful until now. So kapag nagna-notes tayo ay mas natatandaan natin sa kung ano ang sinasabi ng ating kausap o ng ating guro. Naranasan nyo na ba na hindi pa uwiin ng inyong guro kapag hindi pa tapos na isulat ninyo ang mga nasa pisara? Kasi in that way, kapag nagsusulat tayo ay mas natatandaan natin pagdating natin sa ating bahay ay magkakaroon tayo ng idea sa kung ano ang tinalakay natin sa araw na iyon. And even in the simplest notes will remind us on what is happening on that day. The last non-test data is the internships. This trains students to accompany or organization so they can possess a peace experience and gain some qualifications to their future work. So before we graduate either in senior high school or college, internships is needed to accomplish. Isa ito sa mga paraan upang magkaroon tayo ng experiences and to gain knowledge to our future work. So sa pamamagitan nito, malalaman natin ang kahalagahan ng gusto nating maging trabaho, just like us, the future teachers. So next academic year, that's the time of our internships. That's the time to show what we really have. So I believe that we are ready to face our students because of the trainings given by our instructor that make us a better person. Since we already tackle all the types of non-test data, again, what are the types of non-test data? So we have homework, projects, portfolios, debates, demonstration, games, oral and written reports, rating scales, cartooning, notes, and internship. Now, let's proceed to the advantages and disadvantages of non-test data. One of the advantages is it can assess by multiple perspective. So, it can assess by multiple perspective, ibig sabihin, hindi lamang nakafocus sa isang pananaw kung paano i-assess ang students, but teachers see learning as opportunity for their students to learn and acquire knowledge through different activities. The second advantage is develop a measurable criterion. In doing this, non-test assessment, we should always have a guide or a rubric before we judge our student for them to be fair and graded fairly. Nagkakaroon din ng mga criteria before the activity so the students are guided on the things that they need to focus on. The next one is the student-centered. It is advantage since the students are the responsible for their learnings. Sila ang gumagawa kung paano sila matuto. And that's more important because we train them how to be themselves and discover what they really have. The role of the teacher is to guide the students on what they are doing. Another advantage is promote creativity. It promotes creativity since they are able to create, to perform, or think something the way that has not done before. Students are talented. Sa kanila ka matututo na ang isang bagay ay maaari pang pakinabangan because of their innovation and being resourcefulness. The last advantage is engage a full of life learning. Full of life learning siya kasi it's like a training for them. How they develop their skills in different aspects and how they deal things responsibly. Kapag ang students ay hinayaan natin sa kung paano sila natututo, ay madadala nila iyon hindi lamang sa labas ng paaralan maging sa panghabang buhay nilang pamumuhay. Sabi nga, the best teacher is experience. Kaya we should let them experience different things in life. Since we are done with the advantages of non-test data, now let's proceed to the disadvantages of it. One of the disadvantages of non-test data is time-consuming. Yes, isa siya sa disadvantages since naglalaan tayo ng mahabang panahon bago ito matapos. Ang effort at ang hirap ay kasama na rin dito. Unlike sa test na students only need to do is to answer the question given. Another is must be carefully designed to students. So, nagiging disadvantage siya if we give assessment to our student that is not suitable for them. Kaya mahalaga na mayroon tayong pag-iingat sa kung ano ang ipagagawa natin sa ating mga students because not all activity is for everyone. The last disadvantage is the bad behaviors of student. Isa rin sa disadvantage ang bad behavior ng students since they are different from each other and their perspectives are not the same. So that's why as teachers, we should always guide them. Ipaunawa na every suggestions and thoughts are accepted. We should not only train their mind, but also we need to train them how to respect and have right behavior in every situation. That's the end of my discussion. I hope you learned a lot from it. Thank you for listening and once again, good day.